Hi, everybody. I'll bet you were expecting Santa. Well, this is Bernard, Santa's head elf. And Santa wanted me to tell you that he is really busy getting the workshop ready with the elves working day and night to complete toy production. So broadcasting almost live from the Boscoyo Broadcast Studios, you're listening to the Professional Triers Podcast. And remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube and at Apple Podcasts. And now, here are the Professional Triers.
Welcome to another episode of Professional Triers, Unedited. Once again, we tried something new with showing a picture, so you don't have to look at us, but maybe you still saw us. I don't know how it's going to work. We'll see. Brian's looking lovely.
Always.
Still in for tonight is Brian, and
hey, everybody.
We made Robert join us.
Hello.
Last minute decision. We just said, "Hey, get on here." It's another late night Sunday recording, and we'll post
Robert was duped into it because he was helping me with my grouping issues. That I had way too many groupies, and he was helping me, so he kind of got duped into it to come in after we got done doing that. So thank you, Robert.
I was honored. I don't like
He's so full of
a
it.
last resort. I mean, it kind of takes the honorary out of it, but hey, I'm still honored.
Moving on.
Yeah. Nobody said you were the honorary guest tonight.
I think I just made that clear. I am.
Yeah. Sorry. The honorary guest for the evening is Robert from PPD, who has a very nice background.
Awesome background. Yeah. Looks custom.
That's Clyde behind the tree. That's how he looks after he gets done sequencing a song.
That's how he was looking about now when he's trying to get his setup done in 6 hours.
So how's your display coming, Robert?
I'm done. Although my wife keeps telling me I need to add more sequences, and I tell her I don't know where to get those at. But
hey, if you go to www.pixelpro, I almost was going to mess with you. Displays.com. I hear they have fantastic sequences there.
I almost used that Kurt Russell song that Michael did over at Showstoppers. Last year, I did use his Dominic the Donkey because I downloaded it, and he sent me a message, and he put, "Don't you have your own sequences to get?" And I just laughed, and I said, "Yeah, but I don't have Dominic the Donkey."
Hey, I got the Kurt Russell run learning. I like that song.
Yep, I'm not running it yet, but I am going to definitely. I do love that one.
Yeah, I saw it on Ricky's house. It looked really good.
Everything looks good on Ricky's house.
Oh, no kidding.
Even the porta potty looked good at Ricky's house.
No kidding.
So you add anything new to your display?
Yes. I added one 8-foot snowflake from Gilbert's to my display this year. And let me tell you, when you look at something and it says it has over close to 1,000 pixels in it in Coro, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. But because of this cool T-handle pixel pusher I got, I don't have the T-handle, but I got the little thing that came with it from Nados Designs. My 9-year-old was able to push 978 pixels without complaining.
Nice. So you're going to buy a snowflake for next year too?
Yes. My wife, this was like our first really big prop at the house, and my wife was super excited about it. She loves it. And now she wants the entire display to be snowflakes. So I guess I'm going to follow in Peter Pecker footsteps, because I know Keith has a ton of snowflakes. So I'm coming for you, Keith. I'm coming for you.
We're going to have to start a little competition. Who can do the most snowflakes? I don't know. I've seen some houses that's got like 40, 50 snowflakes.
Well, yeah. I think back in the day, John Storms had like 150 or 200 snowflakes across his entire house. And it became like a big matrix out of snowflakes.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah. That's going back, though. But John Storms, he's just a living legend.
I should do that on my house.
I was just thinking you can go to, I don't know if California's got them, but Farm and Ranch Supplies, they got these 16-foot by 4-foot panel fence. And I could put those up on my property and I could just have rows after rows of snowflakes.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. They were on sale for like $19. My buddy keeps telling me about them. I'm like, dude, are they still on sale? He's like, no. And I'm like, why are you telling me about them? He's like, they'll be on sale in the spring. Like, all right. So he cut them in half and he's using them as yard borders. He does an LOR show in town. The only other guy within 500 miles that does a show
Well, you got to
anywhere
import
near
stuff to Canada, so it's going to be hard. Montana.
freaking tariffs. Montana. I do have a special present in mind for my secret elf Santa thing that we're doing.
Oh, I have a great present in mind for my Secret Santa.
Yeah. Who
Even
you
though I'm
got?
not happy with who I got, I'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah, she's never gonna guess what she gets. So
Well, see, I was going to get her a Google video thing so she wouldn't be on Brew Tank so much. No, I'm just teasing. I love her to death. I'm just teasing.
So do you have any problems with your display, Robert?
Yes.
Not you, Brian. Well, that's a whole episode all by itself.
No doubt.
no, honestly, no, just time. I never set my display up the same way twice. I mean, the props go in the same area, but I never hook them to the same outputs.
Oh.
Because I usually just throw everything out. I run all the extension cords, and then I just plug them into the controller, and I go, okay, tree 1, 2, 3, 4, star 4, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I just write them all down in a piece of notepad. I come in, type it into X-Lights, and upload to the controller. So
You use a notebook?
yes, for my display outside, yes, I do, Brian. Yes, I do.
Welcome to Brian's Club.
I'm honored.
You know, I had a notepad out in Arizona as well, Brian. You'd be proud of this.
I am.
And my pages started getting
Stuck together.
When I was doing like my
Gotta put it in front of your face.
That works well.
You gotta put it right here.
Don't get angry, Robert.
So when I was doing my stuff, it was pouring in Arizona, if you can believe that. They're getting record rains out in Arizona, so I had to go and buy those plastic sleeves. So I would take notes on my notepad, and I would slide it into a plastic sleeve so I could hand it out, and it wasn't getting wet. And people were laughing at me, calling me old, Brian. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anytime.
We've been getting crazy rain here.
I was gonna say you and David are just getting pounded over there.
Wow. I've been crazy amount of rain this weekend. And there were still people out in my checking out my display, and I was like, "You're crazy. I won't go outside right now."
Wow. How's your house coming along? Aren't you gonna do your house this year too?
Yeah. It's
Can we throw it back to you?
Do we throw it back to me? Yeah, my house has its mega tree up and its house outline and my archway and my singing face and stuff like that. And these snowflakes need pixels pushed in them, but right now they're a good prop for the thing. Which,
well, if you go to mattisdesign.com and you get the little T-handle thing, those snowflakes done in no time.
Yeah, I have that.
They will be able to push them for you.
Yeah. And then I haven't had time to work on anything. And then Robert saved my ass and fixed my layout for me.
Robert's good about that.
It's good to have friends in low places.
Yeah.
Definitely. Heck yeah. I'm like, dude, I need help. I had him on the phone for 2 hours yesterday and come to find out tonight that he was just messing with me. Hey, is this on? And I'm like, no, that's on. He's like, oh, yeah, that's supposed to be on. And I'm like, oh, you're an ass.
That was good. That was good, clean fun.
It was awesome. It was only
Oh,
just
yeah.
freezing outside. So
My display should be on tomorrow night once I buy a new network switch. Because I didn't have the power supply for my network switch, and it's 12 volt. So I made something up and plugged it into my power supply on my controller, and apparently it's a different type of 12 volt.
Different.
And it smoked everywhere. So
Is there different amps to that too?
probably there's probably a lot of stuff that I was just like, 12 volt, let's see what happens.
Something's AC, something's DC. That's just a band.
You're only using 2 controllers, and the one controller should already have a switch built onto it, right?
Yeah, but my computer won't accept it without having a network switch.
I call lies. I think you sit on a throne of lies.
No, it won't. I tried. Trust me.
No, it has to.
No, it won't.
The same data comes out of a switch as what comes out of your computer. It just
Yeah, but my computer is old as fuck, and it
doesn't matter.
It says it needs a network switch.
No, it's lying to you.
Okay.
Well, the Falcon has a network switch built onto it. That's a switch.
Yeah, but okay.
Can you run coax out your garage to it?
I think
To the
we should
F-16?
have a live demonstration of JR getting his display up and going switchless.
Oh, fuck.
Switchless.
Not right now. It's too late. Piss off my
Do you
neighbor.
do you have curfews in California or something?
No, but I technically have an HOA, so I'm just kind of more of
Technically,
for forgiveness in this. They don't know what I'm doing, so we'll see what happens.
the 10-foot mega tree on your driveway doesn't tell them what it is.
No, I put it on my lawn, not on my driveway.
What? You got a tree in your yard.
Yeah, you should see it. It's kind of cool. It's like on the edge of the lawn, and then part of it goes into the tree. But like when it lights up, you could see it perfectly. It's cool. You know.
So no star, I'm assuming then.
No star.
No star. No room. Branches. Damn things.
Guy wires are just ratchet straps to the tree.
Well, if you have enough branches up above your tree, you might be able to wrap the pixels in like a star pattern,
Yeah.
going from limb to limb.
Yeah, let me climb up there and do that.
Just climb up the mega tree. Just,
Shimmy on up that square pole. Use the ratchet straps for steps.
See?
Yeah, every other one.
Got a game plan now.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
We definitely got to do that live.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll shimmy up and hold the phone with one hand.
No, you need one of these. See, this is so you can walk and record yourself at the same
Again,
time.
I can't see it, Robert.
There you go.
Oh, hold on.
Field
There
view.
it is.
Oh, flexi view.
Huh?
As seen on TV. Is that a flexi view?
Yeah,
Is that so you can be hands-free when you're in the shitter at work?
that's right. I can be hands-free.
What the
If anybody doesn't know that Robert
Oh.
sometimes will join us in Zoom when he's at work. I don't know if anybody from his work is watching, but he never shows his video, so we just all assume he goes hides in the bathroom so he can talk to us. So that's where the joke came up. So just had to explain it a little bit. He's not actually in the bathroom. We could hear coworkers unless they, I don't know.
And the phone. You can hear the phone ringing.
So Brian, how's your display coming? Been one
It
hell of a
is.
week for you, huh?
It's actually up. Is running. I'm moving I have some power issues because I don't know how to count. In Montana, I ran out of toes and fingers out here. So I have a power issue on a mini tree. So I'm just going to move 4 mini trees out to the front of the yard where my, arches and my nutcrackers are and stuff. So because I was trying to piggyback I was daisy chaining too many props together and trying to throw this one in at the end of 4 props already. So we were running out of power.
What if you just inject the power at the end of it?
Well, yes, but I have 6 open ports on a 16 that's further out in the yard. So I'm just going to dig them out of the snow, unratchet them, and put them further out there where they're next to that controller. So
Well, that works.
a little bit, yeah. And I think it'll flow better anyways. I should have done it, and I thought about it, and I'm just like, nah, they'll be fine. And yeah, it's not lighting up. Robert, what do I do? It's not lighting up. So yeah, it was definitely a power issue. Turns out there was 306 pixels on 4 different props, about 15 foot away from each other ish. So yeah,
Yeah, that's stretching your limits there.
I was testing the boundaries. So, but other than that, the 6 songs that I do have from PPD that are playing right now, they don't look great because of my grouping issues that I had. I had a lot of props overlapping, a lot of groups overlapping. So that's what Robert has graciously figured out for me. And I think the dumbass was coming up a lot in his mind that he was saying underneath his breath, what were you thinking? But no, he did help me out a lot the last 2 days. So I thank him with all my heart. I thank him for what he did for me. And I figured out how come I had some issues last year is because how I did a few things. So, and with this type of hobby, it's a continuous learning. You know, even Robert and I learned something on X-Lights tonight that we didn't know. So we're like, but that's a secret we're going to keep. So that's going to be high dollar. I want some royalty for that. but no, it's just, I mean, this is only my second year anyways, but you are constantly learning something new, different way of doing something. So.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. When I had everybody come help me, I learned a lot. Especially, see, we even had Robert help.
Yeah.
Friend multiple times.
Yeah, you had to. It was like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and you were like phoning a friend.
Yes. So if anybody needs help, Robert's phone number is no.
Oh, I got it.
I will not do that to him. That's not fair.
No. He is a busy man.
Didn't you?
Huh?
You were calling. I think it was James Hoensi, wasn't you? And he was going to his voicemail, and then you thought about it. You're like, oh yeah, it's going to say his number.
Hang up. That would be bad, especially at that time of the year too. People were still waiting on orders, and then if his phone number got out, I would have never got my pallet. That's for sure. That would have been like, nope, screw you.
Going to the end of the line.
Yeah. Gotta get
it. I saw James has like a new 3D tree or something like that. I saw Shannon posted something. It's like an indoor Christmas tree.
Yeah.
8-foot indoor 3D Christmas tree that you can hang ornaments off of. I'm trying to talk. I got my wife this close, trying to talk her into it because we just got a new tree today or this week or beginning of the week. We don't like it. So we want to do another one. I'm like, honey, I can map this to the show and it'll be on when the show's on. So, yeah, I'm working on her.
Well, now you could take it a step further. Now you could get some DC motors off of JR, and you could put a Pixel 2 things on it, and you could have the tree spinning on the inside to the show outside.
You know what? And the week that I spent with him, I learned how to do that with a bunch of scrap stuff that he has in his in the workshop.
You're not supposed to tell my secrets to
Sanford and Son would be proud. And you know, when I got my bass and everything from JR, he actually threw in a motor for me. So I have a Matos design motor.
Oh, you're ready to go then.
I am. All I need is somebody's shop to raid, and I can get me a sprocket, little brazen here and there, and a chain, and we'll be good to go.
You hating on it, but
oh no, I'm not hating on it. I am actually loving on it. It was some of the best ingenuity is just how you got things to come together the right way at the right time was very, very impressive. So, and I'm not saying that to try to get some free stuff.
I was at the last minute running around with a genius idea day before the show had to run. And I was like, yeah, I can make this right now. And I did.
Brian, cut this tubing. What length? It doesn't matter. about yay long.
Yeah.
That was the same with my wife announces on Facebook that our show's going to run. And I'm out there hanging an 8-foot snowflake on the side of my house as people are like filming it. And I'm like,
oops.
Climbing up a ladder with a big snowflake, and you hear the little girls in the car, let it go, let it go.
I can't right now.
You know what I noticed after seeing the second Frozen movie? How come no Koro Cutter makes a freaking Frozen snowflake? They have like a specific snowflake shape. How come nobody makes it?
They do the whimsical, so why couldn't they do that and just call it something else?
Yeah,
I think it's pretty in depth in detail, isn't it?
We'll just keep this right here and see
the outline of it. That's Koro.
We got to keep it right here and see which Koro cutters actually listen to the podcast. Next few days, if something comes out, we'll be like, we got you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
Somebody will say, hey, you know what they said on that podcast?
Yeah.
Coming from Hull. Never mind.
Oh.
Wow, look at the time. How long have we been on?
Could have had that time better. Every time Robert starts to talk now. So can't believe that. You're the first person to ever like hint at mentioning that place on our podcast.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. I like how Brian like starts to disappear a little bit there.
I can hide behind my stand.
Yeah.
So I could really see Jordan being like employee of the month with that photo. Like that looks like he works at like a burger joint, and it's like employee of the month, Jordan.
Well,
that's the In and Out hat. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's the In and Out hat.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. He honestly looks like employee of the month.
it's In and Out hat.
Yep.
You know,
Congrats,
Jordan.
Jordan.
Okay, like he was fighting this photo for a while when it got put in public. But he hasn't said anything in a while because I don't think anybody's really talked about it. But now we're discussing it. I'm sure I'm going to hear about it again.
Oh, so you got that plaque up above it that says Think Tank.
Yes.
What about if you'd hang it below it and put Think Tanker of the Month and you switch the photo out to tell a story about somebody every once in a while?
Yeah, we used to do that, but
Oh.
on that.
All right, whatever. Just
Yeah,
take my
no, that'd be
idea
a
and
good
just.
Is there an admin that we can talk to about that?
You know what we could do, though? We could do subscriber to our YouTube channel person a month.
Ooh.
Ooh.
We'll have to put – I don't want to take Jordan down, so we'll put him somewhere else.
Yeah, I have to put him on the other side.
Maybe – or where the snowflake is that should go on my house, you know.
Well, I like the snowflake here. It's pretty good. You got a matching one out there in the ground that's not done either.
Well, I mentioned on the last episode that if anybody wants to send me stuff, I'll put it behind me.
So now you got
people
snowflakes?
just started sending snowflakes?
No, those are supposed to be. I try to make it look like somebody sent me something, okay?
It makes me feel better.
Yeah.
They do love me.
Yeah. It's horrible.
So the first one, if we can get him to start making comments on the YouTube for how we're doing, would be John. I'm going to mess up his last name.
You're going to screw up his name.
Lowenthal?
He is not the subscriber of the month. He's like the podcast listener of the year.
He is like the critic that is the awesomest.
I think we're gonna have to come up with an award for him this year.
I think so.
I think he's gonna get an award from the podcast.
An honorary professional trier with a little digital plaque.
Oh,
With-
fancy a digital plaque.
With what? I mean, they got the Think Tank Award digital thing.
I think
So-
they need a trophy with like a bobblehead JR on top of it.
With drunk Santa holding it.
Yeah, drunk Santa bobblehead. Bobblehead JR. Come on now. Just a bobblehead flat bill.
I would have bought a bobblehead JR.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would have.
Horrible. Nobody needs a bobblehead JR.
I don't know. I saw they come driving to work in that, and you're just sitting there going,
Oh shoot!
Oh my god. I feel like this is gonna happen now. I don't want it to happen now. Do
Is
not
there
man.
anybody if there's anybody in the community that does plastic molding or knows where I can get a bobblehead JR, go ahead and just email me at info@fixedpressblaze.com and let me know. We will make this happen.
I bet it could be 3D printed as the body and the head with a spring. I bet I know a guy in Florida.
Yep, all layered up 3D. Tim Biggs.
He's
I
not in
bet-
Florida, by the
I
way.
bet he could do it.
Well,
And
he's
we
not
got
in Florida, but that's the guy that I know that would be able to
Yeah.
3D print.
Tim
crap
Biggs
out of
is
it.
not in Florida.
where is he?
He's not in Florida.
I thought he was in Florida.
No.
No, where's he at?
Where's he at? Do tell.
I believe it's
All right.
Illinois.
Let's go to
I got his
Power-
address out in my garage.
Yeah, I do too.
Power
Wait,
of
no.
Facebook.
But you're in your garage.
It's in the house, that box. I got a whole bunch of new clips for my art at my house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and my little covers. It's a snowman.
Those are awesome. Those are really cool.
Yeah, they came out really cool. I was like, hey, I need something to cover up those brackets. And he's like, boom. And I'm like, whoa. I was super stoked.
Illinois. I
Yes.
would have never guessed Illinois.
Illinois, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we almost died at Transworld.
Tim didn't go to Trans.
That was on the wrong side of Illinois, wasn't it?
No, it was in Illinois. Yes, it was the wrong place in Illinois, but yes.
Something about a railroad track or something.
We went to yeah.
It was a trailer park and barbecue.
It wasn't a trailer park. It was an RV park. There's a difference.
Not really.
Sophisticated people go to RV parks.
Yeah, I was going to say the RV park might be a little bit higher class.
Oh my gosh.
I think everybody's heard our barbecue story enough. I don't think we need to talk about it again.
They're probably thinking to themselves, God, these guys got to get back to Transworlds for some new stories.
Well,
But
Robert, you've traveled a little bit. Mister, I don't like airplanes. Where'd you go?
Transworld, same place you did.
Recently, dipshit.
Oh. I came out to the great state of California.
Didn't tell me.
Yeah, well, you were busy.
I know I was busy.
You didn't want to come visit. I understood. The one and only David Peace. By the way, you know, David Peace and I have been trying to help out as many people as we can this holiday season.
Here we go.
And I'm winning, just so we know. Just for anybody.
There's the active tally.
I'm winning. And
I think David's actually got you.
although Lee Lindquist is trying to get in this competition too, and he's some stiff competition, let me tell you. But David, no.
No, I think David's got the lead because, you know, David helped me with the FPP problem recently. And then David messaged me with the same problem and asked me what he told me that worked. But before I could answer him, he remembered, so he helped himself. So I gives him a point.
It was funny. I kind of did the same thing to David. I was trying to work through an issue, and I was trying to get David's advice, and I was like, I did this, and like I'm walking through like every step that I did, like troubleshooting in my head, right? And David's like he's like sitting there for emotional support, right? And I was like, and David goes to talk, and I was like, David, hold that thought. I think I figured it out, and I hung up on him. And I came back, and I called him back, and he's like, "Did you figure it out?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I got it." And he goes, "Yeah, you just like hung up on me, like out of nowhere." I was like, "I didn't want to lose my train of thought." I didn't want what you were about to say to throw my train of thought and make me forget about what I was thinking. But yeah, so I came out to California. We were out there. Clyde and I was out there for about 6 days. We did 4 shows in California. We did one out at Victoria Gardens Mall, which I'm not exactly sure where that is in California.
Neither do I.
And then we did one at Temecula Mall, which is at Temecula in California.
That one. There we go.
We did the block in Los Angeles, which crazy city. I don't know how that city is so popular, but the mall was quite nice.
LA.
It was in LA.
And the tacos in LA.
We did eat tacos from a taco truck, and they were phenomenal. But I don't know. I come from the sticks, so like the homeless population, stuff like that, I don't really experience like in my neck of the woods. And it was unique. Like I went to go to the bathroom. No, I'm being serious on this.
California, it's kind of a normal thing.
I'm being serious on this. I've never really experienced this before, and I don't travel a lot either, people. So if your town has homeless people, congratulations. But this was my first experience.
They're even migrating into RVs or campers that are left on the side of the road, I hear.
Well, and we had a walk-through ornament that had complete coverings on it. And they had to hire 2 security guards to watch this ornament all hours because they said that the homeless people would just make camp in it because it's like safe of a tent.
Yeah.
And again, I don't deal with this stuff around because I live in the country, right? I mean, the people that are homeless here, they go out and they kill animals and they still live just as good as everybody else. And so I went to use the restroom in Los Angeles and they're all locked. I couldn't get into any restroom. So I had to go to security, and security had to let me into the restroom. They had to give me a special PIN to type in. And I said, "Why are the restrooms even locked?" And the lady in security said, "Because we have to visually inspect you to make sure that you're not homeless before we give you this PIN."
And they gave you the PIN anyways?
And they still gave me the PIN. And I tell you what, after working 20 hours straight, I probably didn't look much better. I mean, I was covered in dirt. I mean, it's funny, we work with pixels and Christmas lights. But for some reason, after a day of working with pixels and Christmas lights, it seems like you're just as dirty as like a mechanic with grease and everything. I don't know where all the dirt comes from, but by the time you're done at the end of the day, you're like, holy cow.
I know where the dirt comes from in my pixels. Right, Brian?
Yes. Plenty of it there.
But yeah, the homeless problem is a huge problem in California. Brian got to experience it too.
A little bit.
And I was buying food from the taco truck, and that's what made me think about it. And as I was purchasing my food, the guy ran by and grabbed a pop and a bag of chips and said, "Add it to his bill," and kept running. And I was like, okay, I guess I just bought chips and pop.
A what?
A pop.
A pop.
A pop.
Soda. A carbonated
Did you say
drink.
that to the person in the taco truck that you wanted a pop?
Yes.
And they understood what you said?
Yes. But I think when you're charging somebody $7.50 for a 12-ounce pop, I think they understand all languages of soda, pop, beverage.
Coke, yeah.
Bought 3 pizzas in Los Angeles. Yeah, $130.
Yeah,
worst pizzas I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah, they're probably.
And that's all I was thinking. We're sitting there eating our 3 tiny $1 million pizzas, and I was like, you know how many pizzas I could have got from Little Caesars, and it would have been phenomenal?
Not here.
They don't have
Holy
Little Caesars
cow.
there?
No, they do, but Little Caesars here is cardboard.
They're not $5 pizzas.
No, they're $5 pizzas, but they're $5 pizzas.
Oh, those kind of $5 pizzas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, where you guys are from, they're probably like dollar pizzas. They cut the corners here to get them $5.
But I will say that that the California. I mean, I was finally in SoCal. I was like 6 months late for the mini, but I was finally in SoCal, and it was different. Again, I don't travel a lot, and in 6 days, it felt like I was in 4 different parts of the world. Honestly, because I mean, I went from the city, and then as like you went further south, like you had like your hills or your mountain areas. And then I got to the flatlands. I mean, it was honestly like I felt like I was in 4 different states, all just being in one area.
California. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty neat. Had a self-driving car. I didn't figure that out until I got out of Los Angeles. Because, when you're going 2 miles an hour, it's kind of hard to realize that you're in a self-driving car. But once I got out of Los Angeles and I started going and the car started driving itself, I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like, back here, as Maggie would say, the horse kind of do drive theirself in the horse and buggies. But when it's an automobile doing it, it's just different.
We're not that far in advance. Come on. I got a self-driving car in California. Woohoo! Sorry, Brian, you did not experience self-driving cars while you were here.
I did. No, I didn't. I didn't experience a lot of things other than the 680, the 101, the Orchard, and a couple side streets.
In the metal yard.
Oh, and was it Amazon or Google or Zoom? What were those places that were by the metal joint that we went to?
Oh, Zoom, Adobe.
Yeah,
Google.
Couple corporate headquarters.
Yeah,
they wouldn't take my call.
Yeah, I was supposed to take Brian all over the place, but
we had work to do.
Yeah, we didn't quite get done what we wanted to get done.
Yes, we did actually get done everything that we wanted to get done,
but just not the day earlier like I wanted to.
The extracurricular activities, which was no big deal, didn't get done.
Yeah, I wanted to take him to San Francisco and just leave him on a street and let him hang out.
I wanted to poop on the sidewalk because I guess that's what they do there.
Yeah, it's totally allowed.
Oh, well, it must not be much different than Los Angeles.
Yeah, no. Did you have to dodge poop on the sidewalk? I've had to do that in San Francisco.
I don't recall, honestly.
Oof.
I don't know if I was looking down. I might have stepped in it without even knowing. I don't think I was looking down that much. I was too busy looking out and
just keep reminding yourself. Just keep reminding yourself that it was just cum.
Well, I kind of felt like that fish in Nemo, and I just kept going, keep on swimming. And I wouldn't talk to anybody or anything. I just kept walking.
How did you like our paper straws?
Well, I was very disappointed in California. I think them killing sea turtles is an epidemic because I was there for 6 days, and out of those 6 days, I was giving plastic straws everywhere. It wasn't until I was leaving in the great city of Corona that I was blessed with a paper straw, knowing that I saved a sea turtle that day. But other than that, California was disappointed with the plastic straws.
How are you leaving out of Corona?
That's where I was. I was in Norco. Isn't Norco Corona? It's like the same place, right?
There's no airport in Corona.
No, but that's where I was leaving to go up to whatever that airport is. What was the name of the airport?
Ontario.
Ontario. There you go. And that's in Canada. So how was I in California and all of a sudden I was in Canada?
4 different states. 4 different states.
Now I
2
see
countries.
why Ryan was able to go to the SoCal Mini so quickly.
Yeah. He flew into Ontario, which was a cheap flight. and just drove into Corona where
Oh my gosh.
It's like a teleporter.
yeah.
Worked like a dream.
I'm only guessing it was Ontario because there is like 5 airports you could have picked when you were down there.
It was Ontario, and Ontario was it was actually I switched my flight because I was supposed to fly back out of LAX, but I really wanted to stay away from Los Angeles just with the traffic and everything else. And when we were coming out of the airport, it just looked like an absolute nightmare to return a rental car, and I really didn't want to experience it. And so that's why we went to Ontario to fly out, and it was crazy. We walked in and we walked up to the security, like the security people that take your ID and check to see if you're on a flight. They were almost falling asleep because like nobody goes through this airport.
No, people go through Ontario.
No, I'm telling you, we walked up and they had all the lines all roped off, so you had to walk through security, and there was nobody in line whatsoever. We walked through all these roped aisles for no reason. It might have been the time that we left too. We left at like 1 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, maybe.
So that might have been the reason too. But yeah, there was nobody.
Yeah, I've flown into Ontario a couple times. It's where the racetrack's over there, Fontana. Where'd you go? Where else you go? You go to Arizona?
Yeah, then we flew out of Ontario, Canada, over to Phoenix, which is back in the States.
just a couple hour flight.
It was only an hour and 15-minute flight from Ontario, Canada to Phoenix. It was crazy, like a Sonic jet or something. But
was it self-driving?
Yeah, I didn't have to drive at all when I was on the plane. I was surprised.
For straw while you're on it, yeah.
Oh well, you know what's crazy is we fly into LAX. Now this has to be one of the bigger airports, I'd imagine, in California.
Yeah.
We fly into LAX and we're on one of those big jumbo planes that have the 2 seats on the side, the 6 seats in the middle, and the 2 seats on the other side.
Yeah.
And we land, and we're driving around LAX. Like, you think the traffic on the highway in Los Angeles is bad? It's just as bad in the airport. We're driving around the airport for like a half hour in a plane. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I was like, I have no idea what's going on. We're just randomly driving around.
No, you were driving to your...
No. They pull us into an airplane hangar. And they push steps up to the plane, and they start bringing these shuttle buses in. And I'm like,
have a gate.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I feel like the president, coming off the plane, just walking down the steps, this big plane.
You wait on the stairs.
I got down to the bottom, and the pilot was still standing down there. And I said, I would assume, we would have a gate. Because this plane came from London. So the plane actually goes from London to Philadelphia, and then Philadelphia to Los Angeles.
You have to go through customs.
I said, I just assumed that we go. He said, we've only had this contract in Los Angeles for 6 months, and they haven't found a gate yet big enough for this plane. And I was like, maybe a couple more months they'll catch up. I don't know. So yeah, we get on a shuttle bus. The shuttle bus takes us over to LAX, and then we had to go through the whole car rental ordeal and everything like that. But yeah, I actually thought it was pretty cool that I got to walk down steps out of the airplane. I was like,
were you waving?
Like, hello, people! I have arrived. I am now in Southern California. This isn't so Weepaw anymore.
The real Rob is here.
The real Rob. I don't think Rob's been to SoCal. He doesn't like airplanes either.
No.
It makes him so Robish. So how was Phoenix?
Wet. The whole time we were there, it was record rains. So it rained the entire time. Well, the first 2 days we were there, it was nice. Then the other 2 days wasn't so nice. And it's kind of, again, I don't get around much. And you think like in a desert, when it rains, you think the ground would just like absorb all the water because it hasn't seen water in like decades, right? No, the ground is so hard that it just floods.
Yep.
So, I mean, there was literally places where there was 4 inches of water on the road in that people were driving through. And I was just like, this is crazy. I'm in the middle of the desert driving through a flood. Almost felt like I had to go like build my ark or something like that.
That's what
But
you should expect when you get rain in a desert.
no, see, I had assumed that it would just all get sucked up with the ground because it doesn't see rain.
No.
No, it seems logical to me.
You're sure learning the world doing pixels.
Yes, learning the world one pixel at a time. And
So when are you going to do a project in NorCal so you could come up here?
I was actually going to do one, and then I found out that you lived up there, and I turned it down.
Oh, okay.
But no, you just did a job, or somewhat of a job up in your neck of the woods, didn't you?
Huh?
There's pigeons.
Pigeons. It was a cricket.
It's cricket.
Try not to listen to your crap. No, I was helping out Tom, Bet, and George.
Yeah, you had a pretty big tree.
Yeah. This city of San Jose's Christmas in the Park. That was the most Falcon controllers I ever saw one spot. Inside of a tree. First time inside of a tree. It was one of those things. We had like a strip. It was like going white for some reason. And I'm sitting there going like, well, where do I start? Do I start on controller 1 or 20? I don't know where to go with this.
Wow.
Well, that was your first dip into the commercial world, right?
Yes.
So how did you like it?
No, it was cool. I was actually really surprised on how much I actually knew. Because I was able to find that problem like immediately and fix it all by myself too. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. It was interesting. It was cool. It was one of those things though, like the night it lit up though, I was nervous as hell. Even though it wasn't really my project, but I touched it. I'm like, please turn on, please turn on, please turn on.
But when it turns on, you're excited.
Oh yeah, I was stoked. It was more exciting than my show turning on. I was like, yes.
Yep. And that's what Brian and I was just talking about this in another podcast about the same thing. You know, that day you get your first controller at the house and you light up your first 50 count of pixels and it goes on the Falcon Keller wash, you're like, I got this. I got this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
That feeling never goes away, ever. Because every time you do a commercial job or you light up another or you help somebody out getting their house lit up, you still feel that same emotion of like, woohoo, we got this.
Heck yeah.
Like
Yep.
David Peace helped out with a couple of the commercial installs, and Shane, and I know I'm going to forget his last name. I think it's Realm. Does that sound right?
Rem, yeah, Rem.
And they both said the same thing. They were like you, JR. They're like, this is nervous. And then David was like, woohoo, woohoo. So yeah, but it's definitely fun. It's always fun.
I was nervous as hell that night. Like we were doing it 2 nights before it was supposed to have its lighting, and I was in there like unplugging ports and plugging back in and reconfiguring X lights and doing all this stuff, right? And then I was like, okay, it's late enough, nobody's around, let's play. And I hit play, and then I crawl through my little hole to get out of the tree to see if it actually worked. Then I realized it needed to play something longer because it takes me a while to get out of the fucking tree. But something I didn't experience before.
Oh yeah.
So I played something longer and got out of the tree and was able to see. It was like, okay, it all works. Some things were plugged in the wrong way, and we went through and did a bars test and fixed that. But yeah, it was exciting. It was cool.
Well, we were at the one mall working, and I wasn't even paying attention to what I was doing. I was trying to get this snow cannon, and if you guys never heard of a snow cannon, it's like a snow machine on like 20 doses of steroids. Like a typical snow machine has like a nozzle on it that's like a 1/2 inch that blows out. This thing has like a 12 or maybe an 18-inch cannon on the front of it that blows out snow.
Holy crap.
So
Wow.
we fill this canister up. Like usually you put like your little gallon jug behind it. This thing came with like, in all honesty, it looked like a 16-gallon keg, but it was bigger. It probably held about 25 gallons because I had boxes of the fog juice or the snow juice or whatever for it. and I was dumping them. And after I had like 3 boxes, which would be 12 gallons in this thing, I was like, I'm done. This is enough to test, you know? So I'm firing this thing up, and it's 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. And David Peace is on the other side of the mall, but he can see what I'm doing. And I'm getting this snow machine. I'm like tuning it in so it blows this snow out. And I mean, I'm just shooting like blizzards all over this mall. And I'm not even paying attention. And it stopped working for a second. So like an idiot, I pull it around and I look in the cannon, and it's like it hits me with all this foam, and I was like, oh, it was reloading.
David, have a video of this. Please send it. We would like to share it.
So David's taking this video, and I'm not even paying attention, like I said, to what I'm doing. There's kids down below, like, 15, 16-year-old teenagers, They're down below me on the ground, and they're playing in like 3 feet of snow. and the guy that was the investor of the project, he goes, so how cost efficient are those things? And I was like, they're not bad. And then I look at the thing, and I was only testing this thing out for like 15 minutes when I made 3 feet of snow. And I had 12 gallons to start, and you have like a little gauge on the side. I was almost empty after 15 minutes of playing with this thing. I walked over to David and I said, these things aren't cost efficient at all. So we got rid of them. We took them back to the shop, and we got like 6 of the wee little tiny half-inch hole ones that shot out, and they worked just as good. There was nothing wrong with the snow cannons. I think it's just for like a different type of show. I think it's for
a
like
15-minute show, and then you're done.
Well, yeah, I think it's more for like you put them on stage, and as people are right there, you hit the DMX button and you just like blow like chunks of snow out over top of people in spurts.
Yeah.
You don't leave the things run for 15 minutes. It's a horrible idea. Trust me.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, David does have a video of the kids playing in the 3 feet of snow. Because the snow's like foam, you know? The kids were picking up foam, making foam balls, and having a snowball battle down below.
Oh my gosh.
Good times.
That sounds fun, though. That sounds like a fun little thing.
Yeah. Los Angeles was the only real bad time of the trip. Once I got out of Los Angeles, it was all clear skies and green grass.
Until you got to Phoenix.
Flowing mud.
I'm just saying in California.
Oh, okay. Yeah, California's not that bad, see?
No.
Just the big cities have problems.
Yes.
Not a show to go into that, but there's some good reasons why they have problems. But anyways, so Brian, when are you going to do a commercial job in Canada?
Who, me? No. Import costs. You know how much it would take to get Rob up into Canada?
Yeah.
I'll do it at the border. I'll do it at the gate. Ask the gate guards up there. The gate guards.
It wasn't that much to get into Ontario. I don't even think they checked me at the border.
Now you just followed the UPS trucks and the Amazon trucks.
Yep.
That's all that's out there. Just warehouses. Right?
Which Ontario are you talking about?
Southern California, Ontario. There's a BMX track out there. That's the only reason I've flown out there a few times.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's by the airport. You just missed it.
We were at a place. I don't even know what the name of the place is. But it was a big soccer field for kids. It probably had like 16 soccer fields out there. I was really impressed how nice the area was. But then everywhere you go in California, they charge you for parking. I've never heard of this. Like
even the mall.
Everywhere.
Really?
Yep.
So you have these kids that play soccer, and there's, like I said, there's like probably 16 soccer fields, beautiful fields too. And we went in to go work on the Christmas show there in Norco, and they were like, oh, it's $10 to park. And I'm like, so, me being questionable, I asked the lady, I said, everybody else here I said, we're going to work on a show. And she's like, oh, you can get in. Don't worry about it. And I was like, yeah, but everybody else here is like here to play soccer with their kids and stuff. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, do you charge them $10? And she's like, yeah. That's my dog.
Oh.
And
sounded real disappointed about the $10 parking.
Yeah. Like, damn.
he's blind and deaf. I'm going to have to excuse myself for a moment. Take him outside.
Uh-oh. All right, bye, Rob. We'll talk amongst ourselves. So how's your show going, though, Brian? You good? You feel comfortable with it now? Having Rob help you today?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'll start mapping over more. Like I said, I only have 6 songs going right now, and I just kind of threw those together just to have something to play. And, of course, I had 3 separate requests, 2 PMs, and a frequent flyer. She comes out all the time. Awesome people. She even brought us cookies last year, but she definitely asked for 2 songs to come back. One was The Greatest Showman, which is my wife's favorite, so that was coming back anyways. And Baby Shark was the PMs and a personal request. So I am bringing back Baby Shark. So
I think I'm going to throw Baby Shark out there.
there's, and I know there's a lot of people that just hate it or whatever. You know what? And it is your show. It's your choice to do. But they got to remember who we do this for. I do it for myself, but I do it for the people out there that are watching.
Yeah, because
And
your people have to go hang out in the cold.
they don't get out of their car, but yeah. Well, actually, the kid the other night actually climbed up on his mom's truck, but but yeah, they'll get out for, a few minutes, but I don't run a speaker outside. So if I go out there, I'm carrying my little radio, my little boom box with me, and I put that up on the donations. We're doing Great Falls Children's Recovery Home this year. So I'll put that up there so it is playing music while we're out there in case somebody wants to come out and talk or, grab a candy cane or if I'm bringing those out there. So, but I have a ton of music already stored. I have a ton of sequences. I just have to map them over, and that's what the issue I was having. I don't know. It just seemed like I brain dumped everything on X-Lite side.
That seems to happen
Going out
when you get like stressed out, and it's like, oh, I know how to do this, but then because that's what happened to me. Like we were coming up to set it up for the show, like getting my display ready, and I was going nuts. Like I couldn't remember stuff. I was messaging you guys left and right, being like, I could do this, right? And then once the display was up and running and my show was going and it was cool. And then I get to just helping at the Christmas in the Park one, and I'm doing stuff I didn't think I could do without no questions, until last minute was like, hey, this is going to go off in 10 minutes. I need some help with FPP because it's not working when you hit this button.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was fine. I was like, oh, no more stress.
And
I remember,
and a lot of it was just overthinking. Oh, I need groups for this. I need groups for that. And then I want to make, my groups to go inside of groups, but then I was doing groups inside of groups, inside of groups, inside of groups. So, which was overlapping.
When Rob comes back,
multiple X on one. What's that?
I said, when Rob comes back, I have a bone to pick about sequences.
Oh, but yeah, so it was really rough. And Rob, like I said, he helped me out tremendously yesterday. Some stupid stuff that I had done, I'd never hooked up enough for. So he walked me through that and doing the serial ports on that, got that going. And then we just went from that to, my Tune 2 sign, or not the P10, but my actual Tune 2 all in pixels and stuff that I put up on the roof this year. So, and a lot of it was just the kind of stuff, but then the grouping that I had was just a mess that he had straightened out for me tonight. So
well, that's good. I'm good you're dialed in. All right, since you're back, Robert, I have a bone to pick about sequences.
I'm sorry, the complaint department's closed. It'll reopen again tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Why is the layout not the same between sequences?
What do you
I don't
mean, the pro
understand.
layout and the original?
No, like in the pro layout, like certain songs have different groups.
Oh, that's because of the way that the particular sequencer at that given time chose to sequence it. So in X-Lights, when you look on the right-hand side and you have certain groups, and then on the left-hand side, you don't have those certain, you have your groups on the left-hand side when you're importing. Those groups will change because if there's no effects, we'll use like gutters, for example.
Yeah.
So if they sequence on gutters, but they don't sequence on the icicles won't show up at all because there's nothing to import. So why give you that option? But the gutters will be there, then you can pull the gutters over. So it sounds like to me like you're making a mapping file. And then when you use your mapping file, it's lighting up red telling you that it's invalid and it's upsetting you.
Yep.
So, yeah, you just got to learn how to import. So there's a couple things you can do differently. One thing is, some people only buy from a certain sequence company and that's it.
Yeah.
Some people buy from multiple sequence companies. So there's two things that you can do. One is, I would say, out of all the sequence companies there are, you go and you say, okay, well, sequence company A is the one that I love, and B, C, and D, I buy from here and there depending on the songs, whatever, but I really buy from A all the time. So you build your layout to the group names of A because that's the one that you're going to use more of, right? And then B, C, and D, you name those groups after that company. So you would say, company B, all house, company B, all display, company B, whatever it may be. But you rebuild the same groups 4 different times if you're going to buy from 4 different sequencers. And you use those that way. And then hey, if I go to company C and I'm going to import with that, all your company C's will be in order for you over there because that's how you start out each group. You don't start the group out with all display company C because it'll scatter them all over the place. Start it out with the company name and then the name of the group. Company name, then the name of the group. So then when you bring the stuff over, it comes over more quickly. But the reason I was saying with company A, if you use that company the most, make your groups identical to theirs, name-wise, capitalization, everything, because there's a button at the bottom that says auto map. And when you click that, if the groups are named the exact same, it pulls them straight over and auto maps them to the exact name group. So it makes your life easier. So what I would say is, like, if company A you buy 10 sequences off of and the other ones you buy 1 off of each, you would rather click auto map 10 times and then just have to drag them over for the other sequences a couple times than what you would want to drag them all over. So that's how I would recommend that.
Okay. Thank you. I'll fix it. You should.
I know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we offer that as a service.
So if you're in the club, it's a $125 service that we do. But if you're in the club, you're gonna pay $25. Just so you know.
I owe you a ton of money.
You don't owe me anything but a good time. Next time I see you, Trans World or wherever, couple beers, good conversation.
We'll get you some good barbecue with ketchup.
In David Peace's defense, I ate barbecue with him in Southern California, and he did. I even asked the lady for a bottle of ketchup because I thought maybe he might be embarrassed because I was there, and he gratefully declined. He was like, no, I don't want ketchup. So I got to stick up for David and tell him that he doesn't use ketchup on his barbecue. It must have been a mistake.
Okay.
But he did order me some grapefruit beer.
Oh.
And it actually wasn't that bad.
My wife loves it.
So
my wife drinks the crap out of it.
You want to hear a funny story about fruity beer? So when I was younger, we used to go to the bar pretty regularly. I had a group of buddies that we always went out with. And we show up to a bar, and this girl bartender's trying to get us to try this new, I don't know, fruity, some kind of fruit beer, right? And one of my buddies looked at her and be like, do we look like a bunch of guys that drinks fruity beers? Right? She's like, no, right? And it was a big old joke. One of our other buddies showed up late and ordered that beer, like, right away. And the chick bartender said, so this is that one guy in your group? Like,
Every group has at least one.
yeah.
Yep, just one.
Hilarious. It was a good time. But yeah. So, should we do rapid fire questions?
Oh,
Well, where did this
Jesus.
come from?
No, we do it all the time. No matter who's on, even if it's just two people.
I already went through this ordeal.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing though. Since
Don't tell
we're
me you're gonna
doing
do
we're doing these unedited, like on the fly episodes lately.
Okay.
You get to
Hold on.
ask.
Let me get
Ask
to my notebook to where you asked them last time. I made notes.
You did not make notes.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to play the rapid fire intro. And then we're going to do rapid fire questions. And Robert, you get to pick one of us whenever you want to ask. Like, it's going to be like, I could ask Brian or I could ask you, whatever. We each get a turn to ask a question like 6 times, but you could ask whoever you want.
You can do 6 times?
That's what we normally do, Brian.
Oh, is it 6?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
Brian
gonna like.
lost all his toes while I was
I
testing.
thought you were gonna like cut it in half because there's 3 of us.
Okay. Maybe we'll just
It's
see how
up to-
it
it's up
goes.
to
We'll
you.
see how it goes. Okay. So here's the intro to it.
JR's got a dirty mind. Vinny is just an idiot.
We really need to edit that. I feel bad when Vinny's not here.
Yeah.
But somehow, this is still journalism? Let's now do some rapid fire questions.
All right, Robert, you're first up. Do you think they call sand? Fuck,
Pass.
I forgot. I gotta look at my notes. I was trying to go off memory, but that's not gonna happen
Oh
now.
man.
Dang, that was horrible. Somebody else go. Wait, I'll do my own on that one.
So in the memory of Vinny not being here, I'll do JR. Why do you park in a driveway but drive on a parkway?
I have no clue. That's like stupid to me. I don't know why it's called a driveway. It should be and here the thing is though too is like in California we don't call anything a parkway.
Yeah.
We don't really have parkways.
I never heard it until I got to New Jersey.
Yeah.
And
So but yeah, a driveway still doesn't make sense. And a freeway doesn't make sense either because at least where we live, they're not freeways.
Gotta pay for it.
Well, some of them you have to pay for, and they certainly don't move freely.
well, that's true.
All right. Brian,
Yes.
ask a question.
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask. I thought you brought up your
No,
notes.
I lost my turn.
Okay. Okay, Robert.
Who
If
runs
you were
thing?
this I am just dying to know this answer. If you were put in charge of creating a brand new global holiday, what would you name it and how would it be celebrated? And what time of year would you have it?
Oh, that's just not a rapid fire question. That's a deep thought question. You need like a new segment.
Keith did this to me last week, too. These are questions you should save for the game show.
Oh, are those?
So I think.
Okay, here. You want an easier one?
Oh, you already gave me this
He
one.
first
There's no
thought about
feedback.
it, Brian. Let him have it.
I have one simple for you.
Save it for me or next time.
Oh, there we go.
So I guess I would have to say I don't know how it would be celebrated though. That would be because it's going to sound cheesy if I say like Christmas. I mean, I like Christmas, and it would have to be something similar to Christmas again, right? And the other reason I say that is because
You just want to put lights and sell people more.
no, it's not even about the lights. It isn't. The lights is a part of it. And the
Spring
lights
Christmas
is something-
songs.
The lights are something that help bring the spirit out in folks. But it just seems like this time of year, as it gets closer to Halloween and it starts going past it, you start getting in that Christmas mood. And people are they're just so damn kind. It's like the whole world changes for a second, and it's like you live in a different place, and it's actually a bearable, livable place for a split second in time and for a couple months. So I think the whole thing would be, how do you bring that back at a different holiday? And I think you'd want to offset it. So it'd have to be like in June or July. And I know they have Christmas in July, but it's not celebrated the same way and stuff like that. But I think it would be something like that. And it would just be just to bring that fellowship and that back, where it's 2 times a year that the world is bearable and not just one. So but I don't know how you would celebrate it. I guess with Christmas lights and with beer and
If they want to be Christmas lights, they would be celebrating
Fireworks.
lights.
yeah, it would be festive lights.
Yeah, there you go.
You just need to make 4th of July about giving presents and cheerfulness.
Well, we do that with our kids, because we're
Presents
usually
on
at
the phone?
camp and they have the well, it's not 4th of July, but we have the Christmas in July. You know how people have that. So we buy them one small present, nothing huge. But Santa's on vacation, so that comes from mom and dad, and we wait for the big guy to come here on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Cool.
Sorry, Brian. That's the best answer I got for you.
All right.
It worked. It's awesome.
All right, it's my turn. I got my notes out. Robert, is ketchup a smoothie? Tomatoes are fruits. So
I would say, to an extent, yes, because they are mashed or blended or whatever they're processed in. You got to think now. I'm from Pittsburgh, okay? We are like the king of ketchup. This is where the Heinz factory is, right? So, and I'm sorry, Brian, but yes, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm sorry for you too, because you're I'm not going to mention.
Hey, we both won
I'm not
today.
going to swear online, but
We both won.
let's not bring up winning, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well,
times,
2 out of 3 of us are winners.
we got a
Got
big,
beat by the Titans.
big Sharks fan over there. It's just,
Yeah, that also lost too. So
I don't know how.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I would have to say probably. I think it just. I never looked up the definition of a smoothie, but I guess ketchup kind of would.
I disagree because smoothies are cold.
I was going to say if you freeze ketchup and then blend it.
I don't think. Yeah, ketchup can be cold.
I wonder if cold ketchup would be good.
Well, yeah, because like when I go to my son's baseball games and that, they always keep like the ketchup and the mustard like on ice. And I guess they do that so it doesn't spoil or something.
Yeah.
But
No.
it's always the best because like you get the scalding hot fries out of the deep fryer, and then you squirt freezing cold ketchup on the corner, and it's just like this weird sensation. You dip it in the cold ketchup, and you can it's almost like you have superpowers, and you can eat hot grease.
Have you ever dipped hot French fries in the Frosty at Wendy's?
Oh, yeah.
That is
Very
delicious.
good. Yeah,
I think
very good.
everybody has.
Yeah.
And yes,
Do you
I
know
get
that
straw
you
with my Frosties, so I can lick it off the straw.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guess what?
you
Not a podcast without my special guest.
Is
Oh, here comes Faye.
What's wrong?
There's a Johnny.
It's Faye.
Woo!
Well, you don't have to keep ketchup in the actual refrigerator.
I think JR.
It's a condiment that everybody does.
Is he talking to Jordan?
Talking to Faye.
He's talking to his beer and Jordan. I don't think Faye's there. This is like, hold on one second. Me and Jordan have to have a side chat.
She was like knocked out asleep when I came out here, so she was scared because nobody was in the house.
But yeah, it's midnight over there. It's a late night for Faye.
Yeah, she got up to go potty and nobody was in the house.
I've been drinking for a while. I had to get up and go potty a couple times during the podcast.
Thought that was
One
the
time-
dog.
One time I didn't get up to go potty. Still a little wet.
Thanks for sharing. All right, whose rapid fire question turn is it now?
I think it's Robert's.
Yeah.
Brian's turn. Oh.
Go, Robert.
Brian,
Yes, sir.
12 volt or 5 volt pixels and why?
12 volt, because that's what Candace Spader, my idol, uses. Well, no, I can't say that anymore because he did a 5 volt pixel matrix. Oh my!
But that
Jeff.
makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. No, he is the one that I started watching when I started researching a couple Christmases ago on how to do a Christmas light show and stuff. And he's who I watched, so he is who I kind of based everything off of as I went through for last year's first show. So 12 volt, and that's the reason why. And because Russell McFarlane's a stud, and I want to be like Russell McFarlane.
Have you ever met Russell?
No, not yet.
Russell looks much taller in photos than what he is in real life. I was kind of shocked how short he was. He's a great guy. Russell's a great guy. I met his family. I love his
I
entire
think you're
family.
supposed to lead off with that.
I had that same experience with Tom Bettengeorge.
But I was kind of taken back by how short Russell was. I mean, I heard rumors, but I never listened to any rumors until I find out firsthand. But yeah, he's probably a strong 5'7", 5'8", maybe.
Really? Oh, wow.
Maybe not.
Yeah, Tom had no problem getting it out of that Christmas tree.
Just slip right through.
I almost fell once onto him.
Never. I think that's the only person in the hobby that I haven't met in person.
You have never met?
Tom? No, Tom and I have spoke many times on the phone. We've had many laughs and everything, but I've never met him in person.
You're missing out.
I haven't met Brian either.
What?
No,
So-
not yet. Not in
But-
person.
Brian is.
I was in Ontario too, and you think you would have swung by and visited me, but
Brian is a lot of fun.
Trans world.
oh, are you coming this year?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yeah, I'll definitely be there.
It's gonna be a good old time.
Yeah.
absolutely,
All right, is it my turn?
Yes.
absolutely.
I think so. I don't know.
Okay, why is Donkey Kong called Donkey Kong when he's really a gorilla?
Who are you talking to?
I'm going with Robert because he has kids that play video games all the time like that.
I don't know. I'm sure there's some kind of story about that.
Well, it is Kong. So
Do you think that's what it was made after, the movie? So I wonder what came first, the game or the movie? Now I got to go Google.
what kind of question is this?
But yeah, I'm not sure about that. But see, I always, because you got the little guy with the hammer, and he jumps the barrels. But then later on, like Donkey Kong, like steals like the thing, and then all of a sudden, like that's what always confused me. Like Donkey Kong was the bad guy in the Atari days, and it was like you had to get up there to save the princess or the whatever, right? You had to get up there to save the girl.
Yeah.
And then later in life with Donkey Kong, he was like the superhero with him and Kid Kong and everybody and Diddy Kong and everybody. But they were like the good guys then. It was so confusing to me because they were supposed to be the bad guys. It was almost like Suicide Squad, but in Donkey Kong version. It was so weird.
All right, somebody else asked a question. This rapid.
Okay.
Going.
All right, JR, this is for you. Do mermaids give birth to live children or do they lay eggs?
I'm gonna go with eggs because that part's in the fin.
Ooh, good answer. All right, there we go. Rob?
So I was just reading that Donkey Kong made his first appearance in 1981, and it featured Jumpman, later known as Mario.
No kidding.
Mario was first named Jumpman,
And he was in Donkey Kong.
and he was in Donkey Kong.
So where did Donkey come from then?
So that was 81, and then Kong movie. So I guess it'd be the first one was called King Kong, right?
Education by Rob.
Yeah, we're gonna do random movie facts now.
Sorry, this was I forget who started this question, but
Well, isn't that special?
Come on,
Well,
more random facts.
well, King Kong was from 1933. Does that sound right? I didn't even know they had TVs or movies back in 33.
I think it was a story. I think it was like a Japanese story with Godzilla.
Oh, okay. No, it says a film. Well, yeah, it just says a film crew. Okay, so King Kong came first by almost 50 years.
Then they made a game out of it.
And I'm thinking that the whole thing that the donkey, now going back to your last rapid fire question, I'm going to say that donkey was just added there because they probably got sued because they called it Kong. And the original story writer probably sued them. And then they called the story writer a donkey and named it Donkey Kong.
Sold.
Final answer.
There we go. There's. We're just throwing some random stuff out here.
Okay, what was my other question? I
Nobody
think
knows
mermaids
now.
would. I think mermaids would lay eggs.
Well, that was mine, but hey, good. Thanks for paying attention.
It's your turn to ask.
Yeah, it's your
Oh,
turn.
it's my turn to ask.
Please, God, let this be the last
If
one.
this is going to be the last one.
Oh, thank
I'm going
God.
to six. Jeez.
Okay, so I asked Brian, so now I'll do JR. Live tree or artificial tree?
I prefer a live tree, but I have an artificial tree.
My wife won't let me have live trees. So she puts air fresheners in it that smell like pine trees, and it just
See,
doesn't work.
We used to have live trees until kids. Like we tried that with a 1-year-old, like a newborn, and it just was too messy and worried about them eating it. So I think potentially we'll get back to live trees, or like we talked about doing an every other year thing. We'll see. Maybe we'll get back to live trees, but I like live trees. That's what I was a little disappointed about the Christmas in the Park. They've done Christmas in the Park for 40 years in downtown San Jose.
Wow.
This is the first year they put a fake tree.
No kidding.
Before they had
Well,
like
let me-
40-foot live trees.
So every year for the last 40 years, they put a live tree there. The first time you help out, you put a fake tree there.
Yeah,
Way to go.
it wasn't me. It was Tom. Tom put the fake tree. Tom put the fake tree. I just helped with it. Because I guess it was a pain last year to put pixels on a real tree.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
Although
The controllers don't really have a nice place to go.
they might get a little sticky.
That's the only downfall of a real tree is the set.
Yeah. Because it don't come out of nothing.
No.
Once it's there, it's there.
Washing everything in gasoline.
Yep.
That's about it.
Okay, well, that was fun.
That was interesting.
It was. We went all over the place. It was definitely raw, unedited. Robert even left for a while. Normally we would have edited that stuff out, but me and Brian just randomly talked about
Yeah, we just.
it. Worked.
You guys did a good job. Great job.
Oh, we forgot our
Like-
PPD commercial. We've been trying to remember those. Robert, you want to just handle this?
I can't think of how it goes. It's
Well, didn't we kind of have one earlier?
Yeah, and that was thanks to you letting me get a plug on the Blinky Flashy podcast, and then David felt that it wasn't enough, so he encouraged me to take a second plug at it, and I appreciate it both times. But
Nice. All right. Well, you got your plug in on a different show. That works. That's gonna
That works.
air. That's gonna probably air very soon after this one.
Yeah, I don't know when. I gotta ask Keith when he's gonna release that. I have no idea.
I might
So
just.
let's.
Actually, it's a little late. Maybe.
Holy cow! Gee,
Yeah,
how long have we been talking?
I don't know. This might be an overly long podcast.
Oh, come on in. We'll only do it for 30, 45 minutes.
Oh, I didn't think we were going to talk that long. All right. Well,
we kept it going. Hopefully, everybody was entertained. Put your likes, comments, dislikes, whatever you got to say, whatever you want.
yeah.
If you want a topic to talk about,
Yeah. We listen. We maybe not do what you say, but we listen. We look at them. We read what you tell us.
everything is taken into consideration.
Yeah. But, John, you're still not getting everything you want. But we try for you. This podcast continues just for you because we know you listen. You're the only person that we know that listens all the time, so it's just for you.
yeah, I haven't listened in a while. I apologize.
I haven't
It's our
either.
fault because we did like 4 weeks without one, and we took that regularness away from people.
I agree with that, and then it was the busy time of the season too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was another part that.
So we're back. Thank you. Please come again.
Good night. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we'll have another one. Oh, and download the sequence. The thanks for the service sequence. I think that's a really cool thing. Everybody should rock that thing on their display. So do that. Listen to Brian's podcast for more on that.